Hey and welcome to this NGD video. I haven't done a new guitar day video for a long time because I haven't bought a new guitar for a long time, which is pretty crazy for me. The last guitar I bought was my Gibson 355. That was nearly 2 years ago, January 2018. I've sold a couple of guitars and have managed to get my hands on this lovely Gibson 1977 L-5 CES. Now, I've been through so many archtops. Let me just think. My first archtop was some Chinese 175 copy that was dreadful. Can't even remember the make. Then had a Hofner HT17, I think it was called. Then an Epiphone Emperor, D'Angelico EXL1. Then a D'Angelico Style B. And then for a long time I had my Gibson ES300 1946, which sadly I've just sold, which I'm quite sad about, but couldn't really keep hold of it with getting this. And it's gone to a great home to be played. So I will miss it, but this is a great replacement and offers much more. Here's a few close-ups of the guitar. So as I said, this is 1977 CES, which stands for Cutaway Electric Spanish. So this is, because it's 1977, it is made in the Kalamazoo plant in Michigan, and it's got a carved spruce solid top and then solid maple back and sides. It's got some lovely flame maple on the back of the neck. The rest of the body's pretty plain, but it's still nice to look at. I think that's pretty common of Gibsons of this era. And you've got the lovely L5 tailpiece, which I really like, and two humbuckers. Obviously the bridge one is redundant really with the jazz and stuff I do. I'm sure I'll break into it sometime. And an ebony fingerboard. Now, my 355 has an ebony fretboard, obviously, and also my Gypsy Jazz John Lavoie guitar does. And I really do think it's come to be my favourite fingerboard material. It's so slick, easy to move up and down, and it just feels great. It looks cool too, I think, the dark fingerboard, particularly on a blonde. I've always had a thing for blonde archtops. Always thought an L5 wouldn't be something I'd ever get my hands on. And the ones that have come up locally in the UK tend to be sunbursts. Quite often the Wes Montgomery single pickup model. I would have preferred one with a single pickup. As I said, I'm probably not going to use that, but hey, when I played this guitar, I demoed it at ATB Guitars in Cheltenham. I just fell in love with it straight away. I knew from the first few chords that this was the guitar for me. What else have you got? The other appointments, obviously you've got your gold hardware. You've got the cool logo at the top, which I really like. I'm a sucker for all these sort of things, these appointments. You've got the nice binding on the edge of the fingerboard. And you've got that all around the guitar. It's beautiful. It's in great condition. It's obviously just missing the pickguard. At some point the pickguard has gone. It's gassed off, as they say. You can see on the, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but on the pickups, you can see where it's probably been in the case a while, and the pickup has caused the edge of the pickups to corrode a little bit. So I will probably get a replacement pickguard at some point made for it, or if I can find a second-hand one online, probably not, but we'll try. So my last archtop was the ES300, which I absolutely loved, and owning an instrument that's over 70 years old was great fun. It had tons of mojo and just felt great in my fingers, and the lead tone was fantastic. I did, however, find that the rhythm playing, it was too dark, and often it was fine when I was playing solo guitar, practicing, but when I was playing with a band, it was just too dark to really hear the chords effectively. Something we don't get with this guitar. Let's run you through some tones. I was hoping to play this for you through my vintage 47 amp, but it's just gone kaput. So this is just through Logic, sadly. But here's a few tones. So obviously guitar players that made this famous, you know, Wes Montgomery. So yeah. Here's a bit of chord melody for you. So it's got a nice woody, earthy tone, which you expect from, I think, a solid wood guitar. This is the first archtop I've ever had, which, well, some of the ones I've had a solid top, but this is the first one I've had which is completely out of solid wood, and definitely noticing a difference in the tone it's giving back. It's just with a bit of the tone rolled off. Acoustically there isn't tons of volume, but there's enough for practice. It's such a shame my vintage 47 amp isn't working because it sounded awesome, and one thing I did notice, the sustain on this guitar is lovely. In the words of Nigel Tufnell, you could go and have a bite. It's... So far the sort of lead stuff I've been doing, really been digging the tone. You can see in here that I'm really happy with this guitar. It's just woody, it's creamy, dreamy, all those adjectives I could give it, you know, I could talk for ages about the sound of it, but it's exactly what I need. It's right up my street, and I'm really happy with this neck pickup. It sounds gorgeous, and rolling off the tone you do get enough difference. You know, here it is on 10 if I play, you know, just play a big 6/9 chord. That's the tone at full. If I roll it halfway. So it's a really nice response there. As I said, one of the troubles I'd had with archtops before is when you're playing rhythm in a quartet situation or a quintet situation, it's sounding too muddy, getting in when you end up stepping on the bass player's toes basically. Love the sound of this sort of chord on this sort of guitar. Other things I think are really cool about this model, I really like on this style archtop, is this cutaway, the Venetian cutaway I think this is called. Much prefer it to say something like the 175 one, which is like a sort of shark fin coming out, quite severe. I think this is got lovely curves, beautiful blonde finish, and you know, I like the fact that the knobs here are black with gold on top. Looks great in contrast against the top. That's enough of me nattering on about how much I love this guitar. You will see more of it and hear more of it in the weeks to come with future videos that I'm producing. And if you've got any questions about this or any of those other archtops that I mentioned earlier, then leave me a comment below, and see you again soon. Well, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. You can do that by clicking up here, or why not check out a personal video recommendation for yourself by clicking up here.